Hey, fourth grade art friends, it's Mrs. Herbay. Welcome to another exciting week of art. I hope that you had fun creating your colorful backgrounds for our next project using the bleeding art tissue. It's really kind of a fun thing, and so I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing how the colors overlapped and mixed, and even how you caught some of the little bit of white space showing through to make the paper look kind of cool. So the next step of our project is we are going to be looking at the artist Robert Indiana for inspiration, and I'm going to have you guys watch a little PowerPoint about his life and his work. And what he's most famous for is using words and numbers in his artwork. And one of his famous images is where he takes the word love and he writes it out. He designs it in sort of a square format, and he kind of tilts the O off to the side. So we're going to have the opportunity this week to create our own four-letter word based on something that we wish for this world. And last week I attached to the Canvas page, but I'll do it again this week. I have here a whole big list of four-letter words that we can use to inspire us for this project. And what I thought might be interesting is if we think about choosing a word and have the word sort of resonate with us as something that we wish for our world to make it a better place. Whether it be we wish that people would heal who are sick, or whether people would care more for one another, or whether we should helping one another is important, or being nice, or thinking about caring for one another, or your wish is that everyone would be safe. Or that people would be true to themselves and be truthful. So whatever the word is that you wish for the world, or here's the word cure. Maybe you wish for a cure for COVID or cancer or whatever it may be. So look over this list, and if there is a four-letter word that's positive, that's not on here that you would like to use, run it by me, but I'm sure it would work. It would work great as well. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to, in your packet, I gave you I think I have 4 here. I gave you 4 squares of poster board that we are going to use to create. What we're going to do is we're going to be creating a template for each letter on the poster board. So if you want to go ahead, grab your poster board and a pencil, and we will get started. All right, guys, let's get started. So let's say I wanted to, I did the word love, so I'm going to choose a different word so that you can kind of see how this works when we create our letters on the poster board. So I'm going to see here, I am going to choose the word heal, all right, as my wish for the world. And so what we're going to do is you're going to start with one of the pieces of poster board, okay? And what you can do is you can kind of write the letter, kind of centering it kind of here, and I'm just doing it nice and lightly here to kind of get an idea. And then you can decide, like in this case, there is sort of like a little bit of there's sort of a little bit of a thing at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of come down and then go like that for the H. And then then sort of like you're bubbling around letters. So there's the thing, and then I'm just going to come over here and kind of come down and then go across and come up and then do that, and then we're going to start. So you can kind of use the edges of the poster board to kind of help you as you kind of design your letters. Okay, so there's my H. All right, and so then what I'm going to do is then I'll go to the letter E, and so I kind of want to maybe stick with the same style of letter. So the same thing for the E. What I'll do is I'll use this edge sort of as the so there's the little parts that are coming off the letter, and then I'm going to come down here, and this is if I was drawing the letter E, this would be kind of the here, here, here. Okay, so then I would come, I'm going to come across here and then go like that. If there's a particular typeface that you like, I'm kind of using the style of these letters here on this sheet, but if there's another style of letter that you like and that you want to type out the word in like Word or another type of software like that, and then print it out, then you can kind of use that sort of as a guide as well. So there's my E. Then I'm going to go to my A. So I'm going to try to kind of draw it first. So I'm thinking I want it here and there. And you can decide, do you want this down here or up here? I might try it a little bit further down, and then again I'm going to use this edge kind of Another thing you can do is you can use the edge of the poster board if you want to use that to draw a straight line, or you can use a ruler if you want to try to make your lines a little bit straighter. I'm going to draw this in here. There's my A. And then last but not least, I need my L. So again, I'll kind of draw the L. And then again, I'll kind of like bubbling around it. Okay, there's my L. Then what you can do is we can cut out the letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, sometimes it might help if you want to then outline your letters . carefully with Sharpie if that helps you see your lines before you cut the letter out. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but that way it makes I can see better the lines that I want to cut. There's my A, my E, and last but not least, H. Okay, then once I have these all outlined, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them out. Now, you probably have a question for the letter A. You might be wondering, how am I going to cut in there? And I'll show you a little trick in a second. So I'm going to cut out my letters nice and carefully. Now, to get into this little spot in the A, sometimes what I like to do is if you fold kind of in half here, and then just make a little bit of a snip. So now see I have this hole here, so I'm able to get my scissor in there. My scissors are, there we go. My scissors are being a little finicky. They're not. There we go. Okay. So there's the A. So after you draw your letters and outline them, go ahead and cut them out. I'm going to finish cutting these out. And then once we get all our letters cut out, I'll show you the final step for this week. Alright guys, so now I have my letters cut out and you should too. And then what's going to happen is we're going to get out our background and now we're going to start to play around with our layout of our letters on our background. The nice thing about having the tracers or the stencils that we just made is it allows us to kind of play around with our layout without messing up our paper by drawing and erasing or kind of trying to figure out the spacing on there. So what you can do is you can kind of lay out your letters to kind of see how you want them to go, how you want to group them. In the case of the love, the O was kind of off center, but in the case of my letters, do I want to have, do I want the E to be off center? Do I think it looks better kind of lined up like this, maybe tucking the A in there and lining up the L with the edge of the E. So you kind of decide how you want to do it. I'm kind of liking the having it kind of lined up. I'm checking to check and see that I have sort of a similar space all the way going around. It looks pretty good. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pencil, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace my letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this like this, and I will just go around. And there, I'm back to the beginning. And I'm not sure if you can see the pencil. I'll make it a little darker so you can see. Okay, and I'll hold it up a little bit closer, but you can kind of see, here's my H, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you'll go ahead and trace the rest of your letters, okay? All right, guys, I got all of my letters traced on. I think you can kind of see them there. And that is all that we're going to do for this week. So the cool thing is now that you have these letters, you can save them to, if you want to use them for something else, you can. And just keep those together with your background and your wishes for the world. And then next week, I'll go on to explain to you the final step. Hope you have a great week, and I'll look forward to talking to you on Monday.